There is a lot of talk in New Delhi, but the fact is, on the ground, in terms of an anti-Maoist offensive, very little has concretely been done. More and more people now believe, with the Maoists going back to the tactics of 2009, very little alternative is left for the centre. On the News Hour tonight, Maruf Raza, GD Bakshi and Swaranjit Sen on one side. Other side, we have V. Raghunath, Joint Secretary of the APCLC and advocate from Hyderabad. Sujata Bhadra has been an interlocutor between the Maoists and the government. My first question is to Ranjan Kamath, who's a documentary filmmaker, has strong views on this subject. He joins us from Bangalore. Mr. Ranjan Kamath, why are the Maoists targeting innocent civilians once again when they said after the Gyaneshwari incident, we will never target the common people. We assure the people of our country, they said in 2010, that there will not be any attacks on trains in the future. They said we will instruct our party cadre never to cause the loss of innocent lives from any single attack on a train. This was a press release of the Maoists. Why are they back to the same old tactics of targeting innocents, in your view?
Well, Arnav, I think the first thing is that to use the term Maoist is a misnomer, okay? Because with my experience of Bihar, there are 34 different factions. So they are separate militia. They are like warlords, and there is no such thing as a party cadre. See, so who are you going to talk to? If you talk to one, there are 33 others who are not listening or who are not party to the dialogue. So I think that has to be understood, that you cannot use a blanket term, or you cannot look upon them as a homogeneous group.
That builds a line of deniability, convenient deniability, Mr. Kamath, that tomorrow any of these people can carry out the attacks and one can have a very convenient line of deniability saying, you know what, this is some private army, some private militia, they're not the Maoists. This is a classic deniability tactic. I don't know if it can be accepted. General Bakshi, can that be accepted? Can one accept the line that these are not Maoists, these are some private militia? Why are you calling them Maoists? Because by the same logic, you can say Maoists never attacked the Gyaneshwari Express.
Absolutely not. You know, Arnab, I would like to put this, the whole issue in perspective. From 2009 onwards, the Maoists have been posing a serious threat to our east-west rail communications, passing on the corridor in the borders between Bihar and Jharkhand. In the year of the Lord 2009, there were 22 such attacks. In 2010, there were 26 such attacks, including that infamous attack on the Gyaneshwari Express, wherein 144 innocent passengers were killed in cold blood. The next year, this number of attacks came down to 14 because of intensive operations around the track area. And the last year, there were 3. This year, there has again been a spurt, and there are already 3 attacks have taken place. You know, all the trains in this area through this corridor are moved by night. This time, they have attacked by day.
Exactly.
They are getting bolder by the day.
Why? They said they would not do so. They said they would not do so. Sujata Bhadra, why?
Said, but
why are they?
Hold up to their,
why they said so?
Hold up to their promises.
They issued a press release when they were on the back foot. They're saying we will never target the common people again. And they said at that time the government can resume. They said the government can resume train services in this section at night after Gyaneshwari. They're back to the same old tactics. Sujata Bhadra, what makes them so bold? Are they bold or desperate, Sujata Bhadra?
Yes, my impression is that whoever done it, if it is Maoist, if it is Maoist cadre or under the leadership of the military command of the Maoist, it is not permissible under any law that non-combatants should be attacked. There must be absolutely non-combatant immunity in the peace or in the conflict situation. If Maoists have done this, they committed as the is a mistake as well as an attack.
Why don't you withdraw your intellectual
politics they
support
are
to this
preaching,
group of
that
people?
they are doing
Why don't you?
for the,
Why
in the
don't you?
name
Why
of the
don't you
people.
withdraw?
They are
in protest?
attacking the people.
Why don't you withdraw your intellectual support to these groups? Why don't you do that, Sujata Bhadra?
We are not supporting one. Yes, I am answering. We are not supporting any Maoist politics. Please understand. We always against state repression on a politics which is unconventional kind, which believe in violence. How to deal with them? It's a complete offensive policy you require to counter with them, or you want to understand the root cause of their rise, of their politics of violence,
Mr.
and
Sujata
open up a
Bhadra.
dialogue with
I'd
them.
like to come in.
But Mr. Bhadra, you know, don't make a hypocritical distinction
Yes.
between violence of security forces and violence of Maoist
I am
terrorists.
not.
Don't make a hypocritical
Precisely.
distinction between
Violence
these
of, if you take a moral position, or no, if you take a,
Yes.
let me finish, if you take a moral position of condemning all kinds of violence, then you have to condemn state violence, you have to condemn non-party violence, you have to non-state violence,
creator-
and then you can take a position. But
You
if
know,
you say the state
you know,
violence
this,
is
Arnab,
required
I'd like to come in.
to contain Maoist violence, that you are in dilemma, not we.
Mr.
We say the
Mr.
state
Bhadra,
can take-
Mr.
can
Bhadra,
take measures for
let me
human
jog your
security.
memory.
One minute,
let
one
me please
minute.
jog your memory.
Government has a
Mr.
responsibility
Bhadra, let
to
me
take a
jog your
policy for
memory.
human security.
You see, I am raising
There is
this
no
today,
doubt
Mr.
about
Bhadra.
that.
Mr. Bhadra,
but
please.
government has to maintain human rights policies,
Mr. Bhadra.
human rights laws.
Yeah, Mr.
They have to maintain. They are obligated to that.
Really? Mr. Bhadra, I find it very interesting always
Yes.
that you have the same old argument. All of you will definitely condemn the attack on a passenger train by the Maoists, but this condemnation will be followed by a predictable
Yes.
but.
Yes.
By a predictable but. I want to jog your memory, as I call in Maruf Raza. Jog your memory to May 2010, when Maoists sabotaged a crowded high-speed train in Bengal, which led to the death of 68 innocent people. Before that, in May, you had blown up a bus, the Maoists, in Dantewada. 36 people, including 12 SPOs, had died, special police officers, which proves today, and my greatest worry is this,
Yes.
that in this so-called fight that you're having with the political class, the Maoists, which a group which Ranjan Kamath says, you know, has no unique identity, or which are a loosely held coalition of groups, which I don't agree with, Maoists don't mind sacrificing innocent Indians, innocent lives. You talk about collateral damage, you are willing to accept that there will be collateral damage on innocent people. You will target passenger trains. You will target people traveling on passenger trains. You have no answer today. Tell me why Sarwar Alam, who was a finance employee at Bhagalpur, who was returning, was killed in coach S3. And there was a Bihar police constable. He was posted in Jammu. He was returning to his duty. He was not even on duty. Why was he killed in coach A119? Ask yourself the questions about what this group has become. Maruf Raza, let me bring you in on this. You see, now we have come to a certain level of criticality where we are back to 2009. What's the response in your view?
Voice is coming.
Arnab, see, there are 2 points I want to
answer?
respond first to what
Are you
Mr. Bhadra has
expecting-
said. The first point, sir, Mr. Bhadra, please let me speak. The first point is that you have said that, you know, there are non-combatants who should be given immunity. But the point at issue is, when you open up with everything that you have against either non-combatants or politicians or the paramilitary forces, the response in any part of the world, I mean, have a look at insurgencies across the world, is going to be somewhat leading to a situation where unfortunately non-combatants get caught up in the crossfire. Whether the Naxals and the Maoists open fire first or the security forces open fire first. So neither of the two sides are completely innocent. In this case, in the rail massacre now which has just happened, clearly it's been done by the Maoists, and it's going to obviously get a certain response from the Indian state. The second point is, you want to be understood. Give me the last occasion when the Maoists and the Naxals were willing to come to the table to be able to sit down and actually discuss what their issues of alienation are and why they are constantly resorting to arms. I cannot recall that when there has been a serious effort on the part of those who feel alienated to come and to talk. They are building up their reserves by attacking police contingents, whether on the train or police posts. And here actually I don't blame just the Maoists, I blame the police leadership for leaving such small groups of policemen not adequately armed to defend themselves and the train in a situation. I would like to draw your attention to a book that Ved Marwa wrote some years ago called India in Turmoil. He was governor in one of the states, and he himself could not be guaranteed security to move from place A to place B because of the spread of the Nakshals and the clout the Maoists had out there. They want to build up their armories, and they do that by attacking police contingents. Unfortunately, innocents get caught up in the crossfire.
But
what
they
is
said,
the solution?
No, but they
the
said
solution,
no,
the
but
solution, if I might just honor, please. The solution is very simple. In all counterinsurgency operations, you don't use excess force, you use minimum force at graduated levels, but you bring the area into some kind of stability while you start winning the hearts and minds of the locals. Now here I feel there is a failure on the part of the state not to address those issues.
True,
for too long we have been procrastinating. For too long the Home Ministry gives out, just very, very delightfully ambiguous statements that we will do this and we will do
Absolutely.
that. It's about time we call this a state of war and address those who attack innocent Indians as terrorists are to be addressed. You fight a terrorist like a terrorist, not with kid gloves.
Precisely. I remember in May 2010, and the question therefore will be, Mr. Raghunath, Mr. Swaranjit Sen, just coming to you, but my question to Mr. Raghunath is that the whole country was very angry when in May 2010 these Maoists, they put a landmine below a passenger bus, and when people died they said, we are very sorry, it could not be helped. They said, I remember, I think it was Azad, who said in a telephone conversation with reporters, we are very sorry. You turn a bus into a ball of steel. That was how it was described. The people had a horrific death. At that time, Mr. Raghunath, the Maoists said, we are very sorry, but it could not be helped. Today, I want to ask you, and I want to ask Sujato Bhadra, you are activists. Why don't you hit the streets? Where are your peace marches? Where are your candlelight vigils? Why don't you dissociate yourself completely? Why don't you go out there and hold a rally and condemn what these people have done? Why don't you stand up for a poor train passenger who was brutally butchered today on that train? Why don't you do that, Mr. Raghunath? Because that may be a small part, but if you turn off that tap of intellectual support to them, if you just turn off the tap, maybe it will help, Mr. Raghunath.
Mr. Goswami, you have put us several questions.
Actually, just one.
Mr. Goswami, you have put me several questions that what would be the stand of a civil liberties activist when such incidents had taken place. First of all, I would like to say one thing that whenever any incident had taken place, if we start debating on that particular issue, we may not get the solution to the whole issue. Now the Indian state is looking. Now the Indian state is totally.
You want me to cover it
now
up?
The Indian.
You want us not to discuss this issue because it is inconvenient?
No.
You want us not to cover
No.
what happened in Gyaneshwari? You wanted us not to cover what happened
No,
with
no,
the
no.
bus explosion?
My question is that my
Mr.
question
Raghunath,
is
my
that.
question to you was, and I only asked you one question, not many. My only question to you was, why don't you turn?
No, no.
off the
You have
tap?
said that
don't
the
you-
intellectuals.
Will you consider turning off the tap of so-called pseudo-intellectual support to groups which butcher innocents as a matter of course? It is as simple as that, Mr. Raghunath.